All right, so I want another example of a rate of change. So I noticed this one today. Parrot's Ferry Pond. I don't know what this pond's actually called. So there's Highway 49, right? And then Parrot's Ferry comes off. And then there's Shaw's Flat to get out here. You guys know how to drive here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now or not. The map is
Are you talking about that pond that floods?
Yeah.
from the other direction.
Right? Shaw's Flat goes all the way around and comes back in. Columbia's over here someplace. This map is obviously drawn perfectly to scale.
Yeah, that sweeping turn though, man.
Where the road.
I would point out this is not actually that bad of a map. Except this turn is a hell of a lot sharper than I've got it. It really should go like this, right? Okay, the thing I wanted to talk about is not so much the rate at which your steering wheel changes as you have to go around that corner. But that's a thing we could talk about, right?
No,
There's a
it's
rate
not.
of change there,
It's not.
right? The thing I wanted to talk about is a pond, which is where? You know where the pond was?
Right at the turn.
The corner.
Right before the turn.
Right in here.
Yeah.
You guys remember this pond? It's like right across from Deo, right? Yeah, so the funny thing about this pond is that I was told by some of the other professors here that they had never seen an appreciable amount of water in that pond before 2 years ago. So it's been really dry, obviously, right? And apparently while it was dry, they redid part of that road and took out a culvert.
What's that? It's a culvert.
What's a culvert?
It moves water from like
It's a pipe underneath the road. What? What do you not know what a culvert is?
Sorry.
Generation Z, your vocabulary is
Don't
shocked. So, if this is a road, right? Sometimes there's like a hole on both sides of the road and one of them fills with water and then it would go over the top of the road, which would suck, right?
Yeah.
So you put a pipe underneath the road so that the water goes through.
Everyone's happy.
So, apparently they took a culvert out there. And what I want to ask is, what does the rate of change of the water in the pond tell you about the weather?
Inches.
Right? So, specifically something like, if the rate of change of water in the Parrot's Ferry Pond
Yeah.
is, so the rate of change, right?
Is 17 gallons per minute.
Sure. If it's positive, right?
Hopefully.
Maybe let me say bigger than 0. Let me say actually bigger than 0. What can you tell me about the weather?
Raining.
Close.
Okay.
It's really
And it had rained pretty soon.
Or somebody built a water pipe.
Yeah, you could tell me maybe, right,
It's probably raining. It might be.
that it has rained recently or is currently raining.
Yes.
You guys see that?
Yes.
Do I expect it to still be positive after the rain has stopped?
Yes.
Why?
Because of drainage.
Yes. Perfect. Because drainage. Nice. You guys cool with this? So, do I expect that rate of change to be the same anytime it's raining?
No.
Why not?
It might rain more or less.
Good. It might rain more or less, right? You guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to get across is, even if this rate of change is positive, right? Like, knowing that it's positive is enough to tell me something.
Yeah.
It's enough to tell me what about the total amount of water in the pond?
That's growing.
That it's growing, right? So the water level is going up. You guys see that?
Yes.
even if it was the same. So like if I told you, for instance, if the rate of change of water in the Parrot's Ferry pond is 17,000 gallons per hour.
That's 1,700.
1,700. Cool, thank you. If the rate of change of water in the Parrot's Ferry pond is 1,700 gallons per gallons per hour. How fast is the water rising?
In terms of hours?
So we have to know like the volume, like the circumference, diameter, the
Dimensions of the pond.
Yeah, you'd have to know a lot of stuff about the pond, right? You guys see that?
Rate of change for
So here's maybe an easier question that I can't answer, right? Because I can't answer how fast is the water level changing, right? But knowing just some things about the pond that I can observe from driving past it, I can ask about the rate of change of the height.
yeah.
So what do I know about the rate of change of the height, or depth, I suppose is a better word? Like, what do you know about the depth of the pond? You guys see this?
Yeah.
So I know it's constantly, right,
Mm-hmm.
gaining 1,700 gallons per hour.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew, for instance, that in the last hour the water had gone up 6 inches, right? What would I know about the next hour?
It'll go up to 600.
No.
Like the maximum of 6. It'll go up less.
It'll definitely go up less than 6 inches. You guys see that?
Wait, you're saying that in the past hour it went up 6 inches at 17 gallons per hour?
So if I know that in the last hour
At
it
17
gained
inches,
1,700 gallons,
it went
right,
up 6 inches.
and went up 6 inches,
Uh-huh.
I claim that I know for sure, because of driving by that pond, that it will go up less than 6 inches in the next hour.
Okay.
Why do I know that?
Because of the flow.
It's
No.
a cone shape.
Good, because the
Yeah, it's-
pond is in a cylinder, right? As you go up, it gets bigger,
Okay.
and so that 1,700 gallons gets spread out over a bigger area. You guys see that?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't go up as fast.
Understand.
You guys follow that?
Okay.
Why is this question? Why was this question extremely relevant last year? Not specifically about the Parrot's Ferry pond, but
The
about
dam, the Oroville Dam.
yeah. This was an extremely relevant question because of the Oroville Dam. You guys see that?
Mhm.
That was a question where rates of change were a really, really big deal. Right? Because what we knew was we knew that there's some big catchment area above the dam, and then it's raining on it. And all that water is going to end up in the Oroville Reservoir, or whatever they call the lake. Right?
Mhm.
That's going to make the water go up, which is going to breach more of the dam, right?
Yeah.
But it's important to know, is the water that's going to be coming off of the hillsides greater or smaller than the water that's going through the spillway? You guys see why? It's like that main spillway that they had open trying to keep water from going over the emergency spillway, right?
Right.
Like when they had that thing cranked all the way open, they had to be wondering, is this gonna fix it?
Right.
Right? Like if this amount of water here isn't more water going out than is gonna be coming in the next bit, there's gonna be a problem, right? You guys see that?
Yes.
So you better believe somebody was out with GIS figuring out exact volumes, right? And then doing rate of change calculations just like this.
Rock on.
Cool, cool?
Get it, rock on, because it's great change. Rock on.
That was great. Thank you, I appreciate that. Cool, cool? All right.